pick a card of the last day of the week, and I am delighted to create our morning together here. This is getting to be more fun every day. I have a new prize winner for the free reading, and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce their name, Somya, who is in UK, and had a career question. And we just did career a couple days ago. So there is a career reading that's available if you don't have time to wait around for this one. And I'm always noticing when I'm lighting the Palo Santo to lift up our concerns around the today's reading, sometimes the Palo Santo is very shy and it won't catch flame. And when it doesn't catch flame, it's always my sign that there's people here listening today that have experienced heartbreak and disappointment when it comes to their career. And because of the heartbreak and disappointment, there's something stubborn. There's a no settling kind of, I will not let myself be hurt like that again. And so that strength of your resolve that you will not let yourself be hurt again can keep you from finding an ideal position. When we are operating out of anger or disappointment about something, we tend to attract the very same thing again. So as I light our beautiful Palo Santo and allow our fears and doubts around picking the ideal job, we allow that to just evolve and dissolve and resolve, because you are wanting a new position. And I imagine that where you want to be would be somewhere where you're respected, where you're well paid, and that you have pleasure. One of my favorite authors is named Pam Grout. And Pam wrote a book that is called Thank and Grow Rich. And it's excellent because if it comes right down to it, gratitude is the gasoline that makes the motor work. But she says that if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. So your ideal position should have that security, respect, getting paid well, and to feel that it's sustainable in the pleasure department. It doesn't mean that you have to love every day. It doesn't mean that you have to love everything about your career. But if it's not pleasurable at some level, it's not sustainable. So with that in mind, in this day and age, people can have 2 or 3 careers at the same time. People can switch after 10 years and go to something different. The idea that you have to have a complete life plan while you are in between can be very challenging. So that's what this reading is about. It's, yes, money is involved, of course, but it's more than that. The best work for you has many facets. So I'm using the Psychic Tarot today. I'll show you a picture to make our piles. And then Somya, I'm so grateful that you brought your question to me about career choices, because it created this pick a card. And I'm open and available to do a personal reading for you. If you want one, just send me an email with your question and I will create a reading around the theme, and I will draw cards for you personally at the end. So Somya, thank you for bringing this together. Before I start, if you like this reading about career, be sure to hit the thumbs up, because I'm going back and forth between career and love. Some people prefer love readings, some people prefer career. So your vote for this reading will help me pick our future readings. Okay, so let's pick our 3 piles. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. You may wonder why I have seashells here. That's because I lived near the ocean for a while and it was so glorious. But do you know that if I just close my eyes, I can be right there, right now? And that's part of a reminder to me that our mind, the state of our mind, is always instantly at our access. We are the only one that can choose our state of mind. So let's go with pile 1. When it comes to the ideal job, we have disconnect and boredom. Well, if you heard the introduction to this reading, you would understand this card coming out. I don't have to emphasize the fact that if you get involved with a position that doesn't fascinate you, if your new position doesn't fascinate you and make you curious, those are two signs that eventually there will be disconnect and boredom. There's no settling when it comes to picking the ideal job. So that's pile 1. Pile 2, we have rejoice in celebration. Wonderful card of the teamwork aspect, the fact that there's camaraderie at work. But sometimes we can try to make our work friends our casual friends. We can go into our job and they become like almost a family. And if that's going on, sometimes there can be big boundary issues with how you relate to the people at work. And maybe it's been difficult for you to figure that out, because work, they may seem almost mean or sharp, when in reality it's just a business relationship. So pile 2, I think that if you're having difficulties with your relationships at work, this might be an ideal pile for you. And we have pile 3, and we have intuition. So this card is beautiful because this is where you need to be before you sign on the dotted line, right? You need to be feeling guided and secure before you take your next position, because you don't want to end up here, do you? And so this is one where you're fairly clear on what it is you love to do. It's just a matter of finding the right people to do it with. Okay, so here are your 3 piles. It would benefit you, of course, to listen to all 3 readings. I try to go through them as quickly as possible to save you time, but these are going to guide you into some good thinking about what's next for you when it comes to your career. So thank you for being here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I love to watch what happens live. I can't predict what these cards will say, and that makes this real fun for me. And as long as I'm having fun, my listeners are having fun. The only thing I ask of you is to hit the thumbs up, because so far there's a few people here and I'm not seeing the thumbs up. Do you want to have a new position? Show us all your dedication to getting the wisdom you came to this reading for. It's interactive. Okay, thank you. There's that thumbs up. Thank you. Now, today what we're doing is I do have several decks. One day I'll take a picture of all of my collection. But today the Whispering Woods wanted to pop out. And I am just answer now my intuition. I don't know why I picked it. I just did. But what we're going to do is allow this deck to give you a keyword, okay, for the disconnect and boredom. Now, you guys, what I want you to watch as you participate, again, interact with me in these readings, is that when the cards throw themselves out, it gets my attention, because this is not about Catherine. This is about the story that happens from random cards with you being here today randomly. How many of you are my followers? Probably only 5%. So hit the subscribe so you're notified when I go live. An idea like a simple acorn can start a wondrous forest. Now, I can hardly do better than that. So for those of you here who are in that place, you're feeling discouraged. You're feeling like you've tried so hard to find that castle, to find a job that lights you up. You don't want to be hiding out over here in the shadows. There's something you're very good at, and you deserve to be compensated well for it. Can you resonate? Hit the thumbs up. A lot of you here, are you hoping this is a love reading? Or do you want to hear about career? Hit that thumbs up. You can do it. It's just a little effort. All right. Now, I picked my gold dust deck today. It's not a tarot deck. It's an oracle. And I do want to allow the random of Tarot Live to work with us. So what gold dust can speak to us about giving hope to the part of you? There's just a part of you who feels discouraged. The greater part of you, the divine part of you, is thrilled. anytime that you're not in a position, you are building momentum to be in the next position. Why? Because you have an inner being. You have a divine self that is guiding you, whether you're plugged into it or not. We have to turn around and look towards the window, right? So let's see from our Gold Dust deck. This is your first card, second card, third card. I'm so grateful that the deck is all upside down because I feel like that's what's going on for you, pile one. You're all upside down. You've forgotten that you do have something deep within you that pulled you in a direction of your work many years ago. Even when you were a child, there were certain things you loved to do, and somehow you've gotten disconnected. All right? So the fact that the three cards came up upside down shows me that it's just a flip. It's just a flip of your attitude can make all the difference. So let's see, number one, we have give freely. Let me just move this over a little bit. Number two, we have searching. And number three, we have coming soon. Okay. Now, I'm just going to this is a symbol that I'm including in all of my readings right now because this is the ultimate solution. This energy, this embrace. Do you know who that is? That's you and your inner being. Your inner being, the greater part of you, the spiritual, the soul, whatever you want to call it, is never out of this posture. You might forget and feel like you're alone and nobody's helping you. Bottom line, no. And in your inner self, there's a voice that's calling you forward, for sure. There's no accident you're watching this reading. If this is touching your heart, hit the thumbs up. Hook in. A friend asks only for your time, not your money. Don't make loans. Give a gift if you want it. So part of the hook for you in finding the ideal situation has been a misunderstanding of what it is to be doing your job the best you can and dealing with the people that are there. There's been misunderstandings between you and the authority figures. There's been something around the value of your time for money that was a gift to you, but you didn't see it. And there's a man named Robert Greene. I really admire his work. And he has these 40 rules of life, or he's written many books. But the number one rule of life, listen in, everyone, please, get a pencil out. Don't outshine the master. When you're new at a job, it's easy to see everything that's wrong because the things that you thought were there, all of a sudden, well, it's like dating somebody new. All of a sudden, they fart for the first time. You're like, holy shit, what's that? Well, it's like that at work also, okay? And so sometimes you can try to make suggestions to your superiors that would only help, but they don't see it as a gift, all right? So what happens is that this is a pattern that can follow you job to job. And so it keeps you searching and you always find the same thing. A little bit of an inefficiency, a little bit of disorganization. There's a feeling of, there's something inside of you that feels like it still needs to search, all right? However, it always keeps you in a pattern of not landing anywhere. So, pile one, your keyword here is hope. So, yeah, let me just raise that up. The hope that you're looking for is learning what the patterns of your behavior that have impacted you as a team member, all right? It's very common, especially for you because you're so bright and you're so talented. There's no question about that. But your ability to be small for a while is hurting you. You need to realize that you just need to be small for a while and grow into the business and into a position of authority where they ask your opinion. So what you do is you look for what's working. Look for what's working. That's real easy. When you go to a new place, stay curious, ask questions. One of the people that I know and admire, right during her interview, she said to the person, "What are the chances for promotion for me in this new position? What can I pin my hopes on in terms of how I can grow with your company?" The person just sat back in their chair and went, "Wait, what? What'd you say?" And the person, my dear friend, said, "Look, I know that I'm coming in at an entry level, but I am willing to learn everything I can because I see myself as a position of more influence with your company." What a great thing to say. And what a great question, because they might look at you right in the face, a big, huge corporation like, say, Amazon, and they may say, "Oh, no, you may become a shift manager," and then you would say, "Wonderful. What does that entail and how much does it pay?" But any interview, you want to go into it with that, "How can I help you grow your business?" You will get attention. Now, if that resonates with you, hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up. I decided I have to cheerlead for thumbs up because you guys aren't quite understanding that if this reading resonates with you, I will do more exactly like it. Do you like this deck? Then let's get into it. Let me know with a thumbs up. And sorry if that's annoying, and now I'm never going to apologize for it again. But coming soon. So you have paid the price. You've suffered. You've been in positions that weren't good for you. You had to either get fired or resign. You are disappointed and you're right between situations. What do I do next? Don't worry. Prosperity will knock on your door soon. So as you deal with this, now I'm going to put something, it's called the Magic Money Machine. It's kind of corny, but it's just a tool I use myself to detach from my old money story. Who fired you? Who hurt your feelings? Where is that energy blocked? So I will post in the comments below once I get finished with the reading. There'll be a couple of resources. Check out the money machine. It works because once you clear the air and forgive yourself for chirping all your free advice, you just got to hold back. That's all. Don't give any free advice the whole first month of your job. Seriously. Just cut it off and just be a student, be a learner, okay? By that point, you'll know if you really do see potential there or not. But if you've asked that question in your interview, you say, where's the advancement potential here? How do I advance through the company and build your business with you? You'll get a very interesting response, all right? And so I decided to draw from the Angels of Abundance cards for your send-off, your blessing for your pile one. Thank you for being here. I kind of get lost in the cards. I don't even watch the time, so I'm trying to keep these short. But I also don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Far be it from us. First goal, know that your inner being loves you. Know that you have an inner being. Know that you have a section of yourself that is divine. Abraham Hicks calls it being a blended being. You're a blended being. You are greatly loved from the inside out. Your state of mind does not depend on other things. You're just choosing it that way. Okay, let's take a peek at your abundance angel. Again, be sure to look for that book, Thank and Grow Rich, by Pam Grout. There's actually a chapter that tells my story in there, and that's really cool to manifest yourself into a book. I'm grateful for Pam. Let's see what your angel has for you today. And we have savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. There's a wonderful woman who is Lynn Richardson, I believe, and she wrote a book about money that's called From Paycheck to Monday to Money. No, From Paycheck to Monday. I strongly recommend you take a peek. She's on YouTube. She's very smart about changing your money story. And her thing is how important it is to save, even if it's just a little bit, out of your income that comes in and the power of that. So go forth and prosper. Thank you so much for being with me, Pile 1. And I'm going to go to pile 2. Thank you for being here. This is Catherine. Do you like career readings? Is this scratching an itch? Be sure to hit the thumbs up so that it's like a vote for how you want to see me develop the lives. Pile number 2, and we have rejoice in celebration. Okay. Okay, so you're between positions, or you're working somewhere that is not ideal. Either we started, so for those of you just joining me, let me just give it to you straight. What we're looking for in your ideal job is to be respected, to be paid well, to have a sense of fun and pleasure. Okay, with just a couple of parameters, you can determine what your core desire is when it comes to employment. Okay, being respected and honored for your work, getting autonomy to do it well and be paid well. This is nothing too much to be asking for. And so this reading especially is for people who are between positions or working somewhere. For example, you're serving tables, you don't want to be doing that, you want something else. Okay, so now that we set the intention, pile 2, that's you. And these are the woodland cards, Whispering Woods. We're gonna just grab, oh my goodness, let's grab a keyword, and we have strength. And when your roots are deep, you need not fear the future. Awesome, okay, good. All right, so it looks to me, pile 2, that you've been looking for work that makes you feel rooted. There's something about your work, the work part of your life, that you're you want to derive your meaning or your being that's in your profession, that if you were doing the right work, there would be a level of safety, a level of security that you cannot get any other way, okay? When roots are deep, you don't fear the storm. So your question, pile 2, I almost said pile 3. Your question, pile 2, is what are you rooted in? What are you rooting your security and safety in? Are you rooting it in your profession, or are you rooting it in what's bigger than your profession, bigger than you as a human? Oh gosh, the bell wanted to ring itself. This means pay attention. You know what? When I was little, I wanted to be a teacher. And here I am. I'm 71 years old, and I'm a teacher, and I'm having the time of my life. So there's something to bonding with your inner self, the part of you that knows best. I don't know best. I can't tell you where the next job is, but your inner being can. Because in my belief system, the divine connection, the part that keeps me alive, is much smarter and more equipped than the human part of me. And this is the human, and this is your higher self. That's what this is about. So if you think that you can find a profession that will give you the safety that you can only get in your divine connection, you can see why any position would be disappointing, right? So pile 2, yes, nobody blames you for wanting to have this feeling. We get along, we're part of a team. But when you learn how to connect from your deepest self instead of your human self, you will feel that kind of connection. You've got so much to offer. Your skill set is fabulous. All right, pile 2. And we have take action. And we have completion. Nice. And oh, these are the gold dust cards. Do you like them? Hit the thumbs up. See that thumb? Let that remind you. Oh, that's what I should do. Okay. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. You guys are in charge of making this interactive. I know you're here lurking. You make it interactive by hitting the thumbs up. Okay? Otherwise, I know you would prefer a different style reading, and I will pay attention. All right, so here we have your story. Okay, I'm going to start at the end first because generosity is what is so common with deeply soul satisfied people. Okay? When you are soul satisfied, when things in your life make you curious, when you feel connected to at least one person, when you're out in nature and you can't help but stop to see that butterfly, this type of experience creates generosity. You may be walking in your neighborhood and suddenly notice somebody sitting there, walk over and chat with them for 35 seconds. But the connection can be so juicy and very fulfilling. So, generosity is the sign of a fulfilled being. So I just wanted to say that first, start at the end. Because when you're between and you don't know what your next situation is, it is kind of unsettling. So take action. Chance favors those in motion. You must act on your dream in order to achieve it. So the question that comes to mind is, what action are you talking about, Catherine? I don't know what to do next. But look what I notice in this picture. These are two different shoes. Change shoes. It's so simple, but what change can you do right now in your current situation that would make a difference? Now, the first thing that I always like to encourage people is to look into the world of what I call gig work. Of course, being a server, a waitress, or a bartender is the quickest way to tips, but a lot of people don't prefer that. But a very good friend and client of mine is a dog walker because in her city, there are literally millionaires looking for people to walk their dogs. She lives in a very affluent city in her country, and she accidentally found a website that offered the opportunity to walk dogs for millionaires. I'm not even kidding. That's what she does. Now, it's not all that she does because she would rather have the freedom of doing gigs, jobs that don't have security. You don't get a paycheck every other week because it depends on your efforts. So, do you need to change shoes? Or is a part of you so secure having that regular paycheck? That is so important for many, I would say 50% of the population, probably. I mean, not everybody's cut out to know there's going to be times of famine. If you work on your own out there in the world without a company backing you, it's feast or famine. It goes up and down. Not every personality can finish that. They can't handle it. So they will go and make a choice from there. Maybe that's what's going on for you, pile two. Maybe a part of you wants to put on the dancing shoes and be free, and the other part of you is like, no, I have to do the thing my family told me to do. Could be, but the bottom line is you have to get your money into your pocket. The quickest way is cash, of course, finding some sort of cash situation. Now, there is a website, it's called meetup.com. Meetup.com organizes people of like mind to come together and have a discussion. It's a very cool website. And so you can go there and you can create your own discussion group about something you're passionate about. Maybe you love shoes, and I'm not even kidding. When you make your group, they help you pay a little bit for it, for them to advertise. But when you conduct a meeting, typically it's in a restaurant or a pub near your home. They advertise it for you. You say, okay, we're going to talk about Italy tonight. I'm telling a true story because I went to this meeting in San Diego, California. It was a meal at an Italian restaurant where no English was spoken. So we all sat at the table and we spoke another language. And there was a bowl on the table, and everybody threw their $10 into the bowl for the meetup leader. She walked out of there with $120 cash. Everybody else bought their own food. They tipped, they did everything. But meetup is a way that you can gig. I had 3 meetups in San Diego over time, and I loved them. I taught what I'm teaching here. I taught how to get along with people and how to make your life change, just like this. And people came, and they would pay $5 to $10 depending on what the event was. And it was really fun. So anyway, I just had to give Meetup a plug because it's a fantastic opportunity. So completion, finish your old tasks. Clean your plate to be ready for the next thing. So make your decision. Do you need to work for someone? Great. Then brush up on your skills. If you've got an itch, for example, technology, let's say you're noticing how many people are getting work at home because they know how to do things online. They know how to edit videos. They know how to create copy. They're good writers, and they know how to do many skills that other internet businesses need. So if you need that, if you've got an itch to be independent, get some education. Look up websites that teach virtual assistants. Learn how to edit videos. People like me are out there, we have no clue, as you can tell when you watch my videos. But at any rate, this may be a time for you to clean up your old expectations. Finish them. If you need to work for someone, no more pissing and moaning about it. Get the skills you need. Next interview you have, ask that question. What is it that I can do to make sure that I'm part of the growth of this company? What's the easiest way to get promoted? What do you need from your next level above me? Let them answer that question. Let them say, well, yeah, you're interested in staying with our company? Here, get to learn how to do this. Get to learn how to do that. That's what the kind of confidence that you need. Okay, so let me get our abundance angel. Thank you, pile 2. This is cool. There's some very juicy things coming your way, no question. If you're at all drawn to this idea of stopping complaining about your current situation, you might want to listen to pile 1. I highly recommend. Also, there is going to be a resource to take care of any old disappointments about past employment. It will be in the comments below after I get finished with the reading. And lastly, Somya, one of my dear listeners, readers, or viewers, won the free reading today because it was her question to me that created this theme. Do you want a personal reading? So simple. You just send me an email. It's in the description box. I would love to include you as the queen of the day or king of the day at the next pick a card. Okay, so let's draw our abundance angel. And we have courage to ask for and accept help. Yes, beautiful. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as an offering to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept the assistance as well as give it to others as you're guided. So this is really very close to my heart for you, pile 2, today, because you are asking for help. You are humbling yourself. You are ready for something major. Even to listen to this reading is part of that. So the very first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to ask someone that you know for help with your resume, okay? Ask someone that you know what they think are your 5 best aspects of your friendship, of your humanness, of your personality. What are 5 things they admire or enjoy about you? And ask them to fill in that blank, okay? Another thing is that you can hire someone to write your resume for you. A lot of the sites will even offer to do it with AI, but it's very, very valuable to have someone else ask the questions and then create the copy or the words of your resume. Okay? And again, I think the biggest thing for you is whatever your choice is. If you choose to stay as an employee, if you have trouble fitting in, ask for a mentor within the company. Ask for someone in the company to mentor you. Learn the skills of sticking with it. However, if you're somebody that enjoys freedom like I do, and you're willing to work hard, and you're willing to take chances, and a little bit of feeling like you're wearing a different shoe on each foot, welcome aboard. But again, ask somebody who's successful at what you're doing. Just shoot them an email and ask them, would you mind giving me a bit of advice? You might get someone that answers you back. Don't be afraid to ask for help, Okay, thank you, pile 2. Wow, I'm learning a lot myself here because I don't want to ride the fence between one or the other. I want to be hell yes or hell no. I'm either in it to win it or I'm not. And I feel like that energy has been very integral for me. I did go through a health challenge many years ago right now, where one of the things that could have happened is I could have checked out, and I didn't. And ever since then, I've known a greater force, and I'm not that religious, but I do know that I don't have an extension cord that's extending from my body and plugging in anywhere. There's something I don't understand that keeps me alive. There's something I don't understand that speaks through me with these readings. And that's why your thumbs up encourage the topics. So those of you who are new, you're here just joining me. I'm Catherine, Fish Out of Water Tarot. Today we are reading for people that are in between positions, looking for ideal, not sure what it is that they're wanting, but knowing that what they have is not satisfactory. If that's you, hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Your card, pile 3, is the intuition card. And I'm just feeling drawn to allow this card to rest on that divine connection, pile 3. You really do need to have more solitude, don't you, pile 3? Even if a wonderful opportunity is right behind the door, the greater part of you really does enjoy being at home. There may be some medical reasons. There may be reasons that are extraordinarily private for you. But there's something about your intuition that's putting a block. See that block? Let's pull some cards. What's going on for our beloved pile 3? I feel like pile 3, part of you just hasn't really believed that you could create enough money, that you could create enough revenue behind closed doors, like that you would always be missing out on something if you didn't get back out there. But the problem is that this block, this, what is that? Okay. We have our gold dust deck for you, pile 3. Let's see what the mystery is here. Because if this really was your highest good, if working at home was your highest good, what would you feel? What would be normal, right? Because right now it kind of goes against the grain. And I have a sense that you don't like to go against the grain. There's a part of you that just like peace, right? You just don't want to have any fuss. This is your keyword, renew. Okay. This is a gentle reading, my dear pile 3, so please don't be nervous because nobody's asking you to do something that you're not ready to do. Take a breath. Stop and pay attention. No one is asking you to do something that you cannot do. The only thing that you're being asked is to consider. Can you be willing to consider that something might intrigue you enough to change your mind? Okay, so renew. It's interesting with nature because right now I have a woods nearby, and I actually have a second website, Into the Woods with Catherine, that's an infant, it's an embryo, but I'm creating it so that I can share what happens with me when I'm next to nature, because what I've learned is that renewal. Like, I'm living in Tennessee right now. I used to live in California for a while where you didn't have that reminder of renewal, because here everything dies. I mean, the winter, you should see the difference in the woods. It's so profound. It's breathtaking. I'm 71. I was raised in Indiana where I was in the woods frequently because it was in my neighborhood. and now I'm back. And so the tangible proof that you have to have times of dying off, that parts of your life have to be finished. Okay, they have to be finished. And you have to accept it. What we do when we're in more of our human ideas is that we close doors because we figure, oh, that hurt too much, or oh, I can't do that work, oh, they judged me, and oh, they didn't pay me enough. And all of this sheltering that you feel you need to do is not natural, because renewal is something that's natural. You have to prune things. If you want a beautiful plant in your house, you have to prune off the parts that aren't working. So pile 3, if it is in your destiny to work at home and be successful, you will know it. It will be a hell yes in your being, okay? If you are not supposed to work at home, unfortunately, it's going to feel like a hell maybe, because you're living like, well, maybe the next thing I try will be the thing. And if you're living in hell maybe, you're in trouble, all right? You need a hell no. You need to understand that if you're closing the door, close it. Take your chance. But hell maybe wears you out, pile 3, okay? Now, let me just put this over here for a moment, and let's look at your wisdom from the gold dust deck. Number 1, opportunity. A golden egg of opportunity falls into your lap. A new job, a promotion, or a move is coming. I'm sorry for the interruption. And we have wealth. I love that that interruption came. Oh, that is so cool, pile 3. Look at that block. And right when I pulled the wealth card, I lost my connection for a minute. That's very, very, very cool, if you ask me. If you want apples, you have to shake the trees. Seek openings that have a greater payoff. Very nice. And we have take risks. Life is worth the risk. If you win, you will prosper. If you lose, you will be wise. Conquer your fear. Okay, pile 3, clear. Very crystal clear. Crystal clear. You've got to look outside one more time, okay? You have to, an opportunity is pounding at your door. Somebody needs your skill set for sure. And so it's looking like you've created for yourself a false premise. Abraham Hicks teaches about false premise. It's not a false promise, you know, that somebody promised you something and it's not going to happen. No, a false premise is a flawed idea. It's a flawed idea. How do we know? You're not at peace in your inner being. Something's off. You're feeling blocked. So what I'm seeing here is this is a fork in the road for you. The fork is one way is the way you've always done things, and the other way is something new. It's a fork in the road. Stick my 2 fingers out this way around that wealth card. Why not give it a try? Tapping has saved my ass. I've been tapping for over 20 years. There's a YouTube channel, Tapping with Brad. Go to it. He has money tapping. He has fear of rejection tapping. He's like the doctor of tapping. I would love to tap with you. Just message me. It's one of the services that I do. But that's not the point. The point is that your flawed premise has been you didn't realize that you have to die every year. Just like a tree in the forest sheds all of its leaves. All of its leaves are shed. It sits there naked for months here in Tennessee. And then it grows again. And when you go into it, it's so full and verdant. It's almost frightening. And when I say that, I don't mean there's spooks in there, but the energy of all those living leaves, the energy of the woods feels so different than when it's bare. So if you're out of touch with natural renewal, that's what you're needing. And that's what energy work does. That's why energy therapists are so busy with tapping and Reiki, massage, anything that allows you to renew your physical body puts you in the practice of renewal. There's a huge promise coming your way, pile 3. You owe it to yourself to take the opportunity. If you don't feel skilled enough, say, how can I get more skilled? Why is it so easy for me to be excellent at this skill? But you do not want to turn down the next offer, all right? There's something here for you. Now, what happens if you don't like it? And you think back to this reading and you say, Catherine, you're full of beans. I took that opportunity and my whole world changed and I decided I was never going to go out again. Guess what? That's the lesson. Go into it curious and fascinated. Learn as much as you can. Pile 1 is great about this, about what to do when you're very first on a job. It's wonderful. Also, the magic question that you need to ask is, on the interview or when they make the offer, where do you see this position growing? What do you anticipate I could do if you take me into your company? I want to grow with you. When you say that to them, they will be open. They'll tell you, no, your position is pretty much cast in stone, but we're going to have stock options, whatever their thing. You know what I mean? But if they see you as potential for promotion right from before they hire you or before they make the offer, you've got it made, okay? So don't be scared of this. I know it's hard, but let's say that this is not a block at all. Let's say it's a portal, right? And you're crossing through into something new and the light is waiting for your decision, okay? No more hell maybe. No. Make it a hell yes or a hell no. Hold the universe's feet to the fire and say to the universe or to the divine, prove it, and go into it with an open heart. It's going to open a lot of doors for you. Pile 3, I'm so excited. This is a great set of readings today. Thank you so much. Thank you to Somya. Somya is the person who suggested the theme of this reading, and so I'm going to be drawing cards personally for Somya as soon as I finish with these readings, and I appreciate that. If you'd like me to draw cards for you personally, and you want me to answer any question at all, you want to know about anything, shoot me an email. My email address is TarotInfoPlease@gmail.com, and I will answer your question personally, just like I'm going to do for Somya in just a minute. And your moonlighting, gotta love the moonlighting card. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. What a gorgeous card. It's all this lavender, which is the divine. Pile 3, I do believe your divine self is calling for you to become blended, to understand how much you're loved from the inside, and to take a chance on just one more opportunity. Can you trust your inner being enough for one more opportunity? Prove it to yourself that you are better thriving on your own. You cannot lose. It's a fantastic opportunity. All right, Somya, are you here? Somya emailed me this morning, and it was wonderful to hear from you, Somya. And let me just clear the way. And I'm hoping that all 3 of these readings were impactful for you, Somya. Okay, so now what is this reading I'm doing? We already did pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and you may just be joining me. So welcome, this is Catherine, and I am on a mission to give as many personal readings as I can in the month of June. In order to receive one, all you do is shoot me an email, ask me your question. Somya emailed me and she said, I'm in between positions. Not sure what the best direction is to take. And I thought to myself, there's got to be a few thousand of you out there. And so, Somya, thank you so much for allowing others to peek over your shoulder while you get your personal reading here, Somya. All right, it's for Somya. I do hope I'm saying your name correctly. And we have Prosperity Begins. Aw, yay. That's lovely. Okay, reading's over. No, I'm just teasing. But that's often just the news that we need, isn't it? That this time in between is more of a gestational time. You know how I'm in a place right now where somebody just showed me a robin's nest that's by their apartment, and there's baby robins in there. And robins here in my area they are a sign of spring, a sign of new growth. And often you'll find a little blue egg on the ground, a tiny little egg that's like this big, half a blue egg. And how hard it is for that little chick to pop itself out of the egg, right? It's a lot of work. And a lot of times the growth for something important starts in a place you can't see it. So, Somya, what we're looking at for you here is, see those two loving hands? Now imagine, can you put your hands right now, can you put your hands right on your belly in the same position? Okay, so if you guys are watching the reading, I'm going to put this card down so I can do it too. But one hand cradling the other on your belly, just as a sign, because gestationally, your future ideas are exactly what you can't see. There's a seed of your career, there's a seed of your next position that is within you right now. An idea that you had maybe even years ago, an idea you had as a child, could be what's being birthed right now. As I said in one of the earlier readings, I used to line up my teddy bears and my little brothers and make them play school. I wanted to teach from probably age 6. I had 5 little brothers when I was 6 years old. So I was always in charge, the chief, right? The chief of the Indians. And here I am at this stage, the totally end of life, 71. I mean, it's just a delicious balance of life that I get to gestate at my age and be able to understand that my ideas are growing. The ideas for tomorrow are not showing themselves today. At my age, I can tell you, Somya, this is true. And this is the wisdom you need to hear today, that you're never cut off from the source of prosperity. You're just in between. Okay, so now I'm looking at the fruit. See the fruit floating up? So why isn't the fruit coming down? Why is the fruit going up? Well, part of it is because you're not aware of how important getting rooted is. Getting rooted and grounded. I think it was pile 3 that had a message about being rooted. That was in their keyword. But that idea that we don't want to make the mistake of rooting ourselves in our career as if that is our destiny. It's just one of the things that are along the way. And your identity in your giftedness, your talents, having your inner being step in and be your guide, Somya. That's what you're wanting, okay? Time. Embrace in the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. Okay, what I love about this is that if you have more time on your hands right now, Somya, okay, because you're not committed to a particular position right now, or maybe you are doing some gig work to support yourself. You're waiting tables, or you're working at a bookstore, or you're working at a vintage clothing store. You're out there doing very minimal part-time work because you need to pay the bills, but you have more time on your hands. And right now, I would say that you can honor the time that you have as if it's as valuable as money right now. Okay, so anybody that's between positions, you're peeking over my shoulder, you're watching me do a personal reading for a real person, right, Somya? But Somya's call for her reading today is to embrace the value of her free time. Okay, I like that for you. And of course, the thing that's cool about the cards and the stories, this is how the collective works, right? Birds of a feather flock together. The doggone law of attraction works. You think it's accidental that you're here watching this? It's not. And again, thanks for the thumbs up. You guys have no idea what that does for me in my humanness, my personality is very happy and wants to jump up and down. But it's more about the energy. There's more of us here than Somya who can really benefit from seeing the value of time. So now let's say we're doing prosperity about time, okay? Seeing time as prosperous time. So that's your call. So that's the seed we're going to plant for you, Somya. Okay? And the cool thing about getting a reading like this, it's recorded. You can watch it again and again, Somya, right? How can this go wrong for you? The cards are going to tell a story. 1. This is just as much fun as I had when I was 7 years old. 60 decades later, and I'm having fun doing the same thing, guys. We're all such underachievers. What were you doing as 7 years old? What brought you tickled pinkness? Card number 1. Help out. Allow compassion to guide your decisions. Your kindness will be returned to you with interest. Somya, I have kind of a personal, I'm going to have to call you out a little bit, girl. Or I'm so sorry, I'm assuming, and I shouldn't assume because I don't know the names of different cultures. But I will say that you are extraordinarily kind, right? Right now you're saying, Catherine, wait a second, I don't need any calling out. I help anyone out. Anyone who asks me. You ask my friends, I'm the helper. Look at those nails. See how sharp they are? Now imagine that you want to just gently scratch your skin and how careful you need to be. You can't poke in too deep. You need to be kind to yourself, girl, viewer, Somya. Once you learn how to be kinder to yourself, everything's going to change, okay? So, time. What can you do to be kinder to yourself in some of your free time right now? Well, I'll tell you one thing. You can just stop feeling guilty, right? You can get off your own ass. You can just relax a little bit and say, okay, I don't know. Even though I don't know where my next job is, I know I'm getting one. Even though I'm not sure what to do next, I know I'll find it. Even though I really don't believe it, the truth is, things always work out for me. Choose your poison, right? What do you want to be thinking about? There's going to be resources in the comments below. Take a look at the money machine, but also take a look at the solution, because that one will be very good for self-kindness. You do need to take a major step to acknowledging, you know what, I'm nicer to other people than I am to myself. It will change everything for you, and you have the time to do it. Now, sometimes if you have a few extra shekels, you could go get a manicure, or, you could pamper yourself with a new bag, or, but that's not what we're talking about. Maybe if you went to the nearest park, sat on a park bench, and just sat there, a part of you would love that. Who knows? But self-care does not have to cost any shekels. It can be just a matter of decision. Okay? Your next card is Take Heart. A light heart carries you through all the hard times. Don't worry, this shall pass. Isn't that what this whole message is here? You are in a lull. You're in everything in life is a cycle. Everything, seed time and harvest, night and day, right? Autumn and spring. You can't avoid the low ebbs. You can't pretend that ebbs don't happen. They do. And if you listen to Pile 3, that was just fantastic about making the choice between working at home or not working at home. Because maybe that's why you're stuck, Somya, because part of you really craves to be at home. But this is what this is saying, is that worry is holding you back. There's a video, Somya, send me an email, will you, Somya? And when you see this, because I do have a video that's a remedy. Oh, you know what? I'm going to post it into the comments so all y'all can look at it. But there's a proven technique to stop ruminating. Ruminating is when you're repeating worried thoughts to yourself 1,000 times. And I created a video to teach that, so I'll put it in the resources. Thank you, Somya. And we have Fresh Start. Never fear, the end of something marks the start of something new. Begin again. Absolutely. Right now, there's a lot of this depression and death and dying and, oh, brother, and where am I going to work next? And how come that last job didn't work out? You got all that stuff going on. So when you get this, I will email you, Somya, and let you know what it is that I'm going to email you these resources so you have them. Because once you learn how to start changing your view and valuing the time that's off, everything's going to shift. And you may need some education. You may feel in your mind, yeah, there's a job I'd like to do. There's something, for example, let's say when you were little, you liked to draw and drawing was super fun for you, but it's not a money maker. You know, you can't make money drawing. However, you could take a class in visual art, creating art for people's websites like thumbnails, being able to create brochures. There's a website called Canva. I use it for my material, but it's all sorts of creative tools that you could use. You can teach yourself so you can enhance your skill set. Because once you know for sure, yes, I want to stay home and work, or no, I don't want to. I need to be out and about. Things are going to gestate just fine, all right? But for right now, it's a matter of valuing your time, because when you get busy again, when you're in a wonderful new job and you're finding the pleasure and delight that you are looking for, you're not going to have as much time. The cool thing is that you'll be working and productive, and that feels good. But what we're wanting for you is to have this sense of sustainability, that you can find a position that really means something to you and that you can stay there. So at any rate, so please let me know how this reading resonated with you, Somya, and I'll send you the resources. For the rest of you who have been looking over my shoulder, if you would like a personal reading, just like Somya, ask your question. I will create a pick a card live that features that theme, and I will also pull cards for you personally. Thank you. Okay, so let's draw your abundance angels. Oh, Vanessa, my dear one. Hey, girl. Okay, here we have your card, Somya. Ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make a free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. So your coming to me and asking for help is a wonderful first step. What it means is that you are starting to follow your intuition, and that will guide you. Truthfully, I cannot guide you, not my job to guide you, but the divine in you, the divine part of you that does love you. You have a divine connection within you, the source, God, the divine, whatever it is that you're wanting to call it, that is in charge of what's growing inside of you. There is something that's coming next, and I don't see what that is. That's not my role. My role is to allow the cards to tell a story that lifts your spirits and keeps you in the game, okay? If you're looking over Somya's shoulder today, I believe this is true across all religions and across all time. I believe that everything has a divine life to it. I don't have a battery pack that I carry around attached to myself that keeps me living. So whatever it is that divine source, that's what I depend on. And that's the joy of doing this work with y'all today. So thank you so much. Did I cover all the bases? I believe so. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you more than you know. Everything's growing on my channel, and I love feeling that there's more of us that want to truly take responsibility for our own well-being, to just stop blaming others or jobs, or even blaming tarot readers for something that they think is wrong. Whatever is going on out there, the reality is there are no accidents. You are here on purpose, and you have always the choice of your state of mind. Are you going to choose peace and well-being, or are you going to choose disturbing? It's up to you, no matter what. So go forth and prosper. Thank you for playing the game with me. And I already have a waiting list that's growing of our personal readings, our free personal readings. So don't worry, you will get yours in there. I'll just add you to the queue. You can ask about anything, not just about career, if it's love, if it's should you move or not. All kinds of things might come up. So ask away. Go forth and prosper. See you at the next reading, y'all. Bye.